Okay, in this lesson I want to talk about the write method, and to start working with it I added try and catch block similar to the one we had for our read and other methods such as initialize record. So you need all of these try and catch block, and it's a very good idea to go ahead and add all, try and catch for nearly all of them. But I'm going to continue, but it's not necessary. If you want to go ahead and make it even faster to write, we probably need try and catch for all of these methods that we have, as well as garbage collection. So inside the try and catch block, we're going to prepare our SQL statement. I'm going to write it along with you guys. So if you want to go ahead and write it with me, it's fine. You can actually have all of these codes available for you in the exercise file. So we're going to say insert into. We're going to insert to the database if the session is not available, and if it's available or if it's duplicate, we're going to update the new record. So we're going to say insert into. The table name is, you're going to have this table underscore ses, which refers to this table on the top, table sessions. So either one is going to be alright for you, but I added all of this on the top, so go ahead and use them in case if you want to change the table anytime. Only thing you need to do, you can just go ahead and change it on the top. It's not necessary to go ahead and change it here, which is more dynamic. I said it in the previous video. So set table, then you're going to open up the parentheses and close it, and inside the parentheses we're going to go ahead and write all of the things that we need. So let me just scroll back a little bit like this. So we're going to use this column expiry. So we had this column, let's do the ID. So we had SID, comma, we have the this. Let me just copy this again, make it a little bit more, a little bit faster. Co SID, then we have co expiry, as well as comma co. Then we had this data, so column data. We're going to come down here and then continue. So for these, let me just go ahead on top, and then we're going to insert some values. So let me just do this values, and then so we close the parentheses right here, and then we came down here and we're going to insert some values. So for the values you also need parentheses. So inside the values we're going to say SID, these are prepared statement or placeholder, expiry, as well as data, and then this is the only thing you need when you want to insert something to the database. But you could go ahead and add the if else statement for the PHP to check to see if the record is available for you already, but that's going to be it's going to be a little bit slower because you're going to travel to the database, access to the database in 2 times or twice. But let's just I'm going to explain you some SQL commands that are going to help you to check if the record is duplicate. So if you come down here, you can say unduplicate. So unduplicate, let me just make this even capitalized. Unduplicate key update. So this is going to check if your record is duplicate already. Update. Then we're going to come down here again before closing double quotes. You're going to come down here and say this cool expiry, which is, let's say here, copy this cool expiry equals to this expiry. Alright, so if it's duplicated, we're going to update the record, as well as comma, come down here, you're going to say this data equals to data right here. So that's all you need to do. Don't forget the comma and then semicolon at the end. And this is your SQL that you need. Then we're going to prepare the statement. Come down here. So let's say statement. We're going to call this stmt equals let's say this db prepare. I'm going to prepare the statement and prepare this SQL right here, comma, right down here. Then we're going to copy this because we're going to use it a lot. Then we're going to say bind param, and then inside the parentheses, inside the bind param, you're going to do a few things. First, you can open this, then type expiry, and then the second parameter is going to be this expiry, which is going to be right here, this cool expiry, or this, no, not this one, but this expiry. So expiry refers to the top we have on the top, not this cool expiry, but the expiry we have on the top. And then another thing we need to add, you can add for the param to transfer the expiry to the thing that you want. We're going to use the PDO and param underscore int, the capital O. It's going to transfer this to integer. And then let's just copy this and then paste it again. STMT bind param, then we're going to use data this time. You don't need third parameter, then use this data. We only need to add not this, but let's say data. So this data refers to the parameter you're getting from the write method. So this one refers to this, and this expiry refers to the one on the top you have for the expiry right here, right? So you understand what is going on right now. And then we have another one for the ID, right? So we have this SID, and then the data is going to be session ID. So it refers to this. I'm copying because I want you to see session ID. And the end, all we need to do again, we're gonna execute, right? Because we prepared it already. So we're gonna, all the thing we need to do is say execute. Don't forget the parentheses and a semicolon. And one thing which is really important, we're gonna return true at the end, because if you don't return true, it doesn't gonna show you anything. It's gonna, you know, execute the SQL prepared statement, and you won't be able to see anything. That's the only thing you use when you want to check the results. If it returns true, everything's done, and then code reads reads line 195. If it returns false, which means you know, something is wrong there. So this is all about write method. So if you check it again, we have insert into this table sesh or table name, and then we have call ID. So until right here, you're inserting to the database. But this line, which is SQL command, is on duplicate key update. If it checks to see if it's duplicate, something is already exists. The only thing we need to change is not ID of it. It's going to be expiry and the data, because IDs already exist because we're updating it, right? So that's all you need to know about write. In the next lesson, we're going to talk about other methods.